Europe. Paying full tuition fee is one way to help yourself increase your visa chance. Now, welcome back, people. As welcome back to my channel. This is J.O.S Travel Abroad, and I want to say a big thank you again to my old subscriber. And if you're seeing my face for the very first time, I want to say welcome to my channel. And what I'm trying to do here is basically give you hints, information that can help you migrate abroad easily. Currently, a little more emphasis on what to do to come to Malta, if there's any benefits making that decisions. And apart from Malta, I can still give you guide or useful tips on how to relocate to Ireland, other European countries, and Canada, particularly Canada. I have a lot of experience in that regard. So before I go into what I'm about to discuss now on this video, I would say welcome to my channel. I won't have to waste more time. I just want to see if there's any way that can make it more, straight to the point videos and not making it a long type, at least to avoid the issues of whatever reactions I'm getting for those that really love if I'm trying to explain further. Sometimes it's becoming too much for them. Okay, now about today, I just want to say the things to do to really increase your visa chance. One of them has kind of been made mandatory and is something you should follow. It's really helpful. Mostly, if you want to come to Europe, paying full tuition fee is one way to help yourself increase your visa chance. Now, I think the government, most of this country now, based on the pressure coming into Europe from the challenges people are facing when it comes to going to Canada and UK now, there's been a lot of diversions and attentions are focusing on countries like UK, Malta, that is English-speaking country, and Ireland. So there's been a lot of focus on this country, and some of these countries are beginning to review the tuition payment based on this pressure. Of recent, I think there has been an adjustment in Finland where you have to pay your full tuition fee if you are to go to Finland, except if it's on scholarships and all this vocational that are tuition free. But if you try to go to any schools now in Finland, you are required to pay your full tuition fee. Malta has actually introduced that of recent. These are the updates. If you're coming for an undergraduate program, you need to pay 1 year full tuition fee. If you're coming for a master's, you pay the whole fee. If you're coming for postgraduate, you pay the whole fee. Now, from the cheapest, it's ranged from 6,000 now, from 6,000, 6,500 for undergraduates for a year, about 7,000 to 8,000 for postgraduate programs, and about 9, 10 to 11 or 12,000 for a master's program. Now, one of the first way to increase your visa chances when if you're planning to come to Malta through study route, is you ensure that you actually pay that. Since it's something that is mandatory, you cannot escape that, paying your full tuition fee. That's number one. Number two, in the proof of fund, how do you present your proof of fund? If you are a guy or like a male applicant and you are a mature student from 28, 30 years upward, let's say you're a mature candidate from 28, 30 years upward, thereabout, I would suggest that let this finance or the money you want to show being in your own personal account. For male applicants, actually, it's ideal that you actually present this money, because there's a way, I believe the immigration, that's personal opinion, common opinion if you will call it, there's a way they believe you at a certain age, you should be having a personal asset and finance of your own, not totally depending on someone. How can a matured man still be depending on somebody to give them money to feed, to sustain, and all that. So what have you been doing all your years from when you left secondary schools and university? So what have you really been doing? So I think it is ideal to increase your usage and make sure that funds is actually in your own personal account. And that's for the main applicant that is a mature applicant. But if you're not that, maybe a mature candidate, if you are still in the younger age, let's say if you're between 18, 19, 20 to 24, 25, you can still use a sponsor for male. But for female, it's possible you can use a sponsor. If you're single, use a sponsor. If you're married, you can still use a sponsor. You might not decide to show that money in your own personal account because sometimes you know how it is correlating the source of the income to the female applicant. How did they make such an amount of money? And I hope by now a lot of you know how much you are to present as your proof of fund, okay, in a bank statement, and it should be between, at least make it 3 to 6 months. Ideally, you can print out the 6-month statement of account. Now, talking about sponsor, going to point number 3, the sponsor part. If you want to use a sponsor, let's even say you are a mature applicant who still choose to use a sponsor, or you are younger, both male and female, regardless, being this student, being a visual applicant, I believe the first choice of sponsor should be someone that is directly related to you. Directly related to you is the first choice of sponsor. If you are married as a female, ideally it is good to just use your spouse. To say your spouse, I'm talking of female applicant now, your spouse. Yeah, your husband is the one financing the bill. Because sometimes it's kind of funny when you are a married person, you have your own family in your home, and then you just bypass your husband, probably your brother, your mother start sponsoring you. Does that really mean your husband is kind of irrelevant? Or, you understand what I mean? How useful is your husband in this whole scenario? So it kind of portrays the capacity and financial strength of the family collectively, which is you, your husband, and maybe the children. So it is ideal most time if you are using your spouse, a sponsor statement, let it mostly be your spouse. If you are a married applicant, talking of female married applicant, let it mostly be your spouse. I am not saying it can be any other person apart from your spouse. But if you now want to go outside that box, you want to use someone else, maybe your spouse, you feel you have relatives that are doing well, that are having the funds to take care of this, expenses for you, then let it be a very close relative aside the spouse. That is number 3B. Let it be that maybe your brothers, your sister that share the same surname, or your mom or your dad. Those are the kind of people that can be your sponsor, where they will choose to present their statement of account on your behalf. And if any of your spouses, okay, I'll take that up as another point, let them be close person. Now, in continuation, maybe 3C, if it is the male applicant, I don't think, maybe if your wife is doing well, your wife want to present a statement to support you, fine. Mostly as a man, you should be the breadwinner, So even if you're a married person, so I believe as a married applicant who is a male applicant, it's ideal. Just you be the one to present the account because you are the one in charge of the family. You get. Ideally, I think it should have to still be the man to present the statement of account in the case of a marriage scenario. But if the male applicant that is married, still cannot do it all by himself, nobody says you cannot use a family support. Then let it also be your close family that share the same surname, brother, sisters, mother, or father. All right. Now, going by third-party sponsor, because I've gotten a lot of questions from people who've been asking me if it's possible for them to use a third-party statement of account. From that experience I have in visa matter generally, the chances of approval when you use the third-party statement of account is really kind of slim, whether it is Malta now, Europe, and any other country. Ideally, if you ask me professionally or from my own point of view, if I'm to advise you, I would say using a third-party statement of account really is not a good option. What do I mean by a third-party statement of account? Someone that is not directly related to you. When you say maybe distant family members, some people will want to say they're using an uncle and their aunties and all that. I would say, except you run out of the option of doing it yourself or using a direct relative as your sponsor, then if you're looking at the uncle and the auntie, well, for Malta, it might still give you that approval chance. But the best way to go about it, if it is hard to do with this third-party statement of account, is it is either you say this person that is a distant family members or sponsor or maybe company, friends. The best way to show support coming from these people is not by presenting their statement of account. If you really want to increase your visa approval chance, please ensure they transfer the money directly into your account, regardless whether male or female. So if it is a distant family or just friends, supporters, sponsor, let there be the flow of the money coming from the account into your account, and then they can and they will also then present the account in addition to that. This means if they want to support you with, let's say for instance, coming from Nigeria, 10 million naira, all right, let that money be sent to your account. Then they will also give you their statement of account to support your statement of account. Like even if what they have in the account becomes low, they don't have much closing balance. What is not important in that area is how that money is the proof of flow of the money leaving the account to you, no longer their closing balance. Because the closing balance you need is already there seated in your own account. But the proof that this lump sum came from them as a support is why you are adding their own statement of account. That is how I believe it is okay to use a third party statement of account. But please ensure this happens only when you run out of the main major options, like the major options directly from your own account or from your spouse or direct relatives account. That's how I feel you should use your sponsor statement of account. And if you are in continuation of this proof of fund area, if you are using this statement of account, either your own or your sponsor statement of account, I would advise, do not let it be that your money is just deposited today and tomorrow you are printing the statement to apply. No. Try at least to let this money be in the account for at least few weeks or even a month before you print the statement out. The more that money stayed there, like about a month plus, shows truly that this money is meant for the purpose, is available for use. It is not what I would call in and out. I'm not going to go into details on that because I actually don't like talking about proof of fund online. I have my reasons. Okay. So please make sure this money has been in that account for some period of time before you print it out and submit for the visa purpose. This would really help your visa approval chance. Okay. What next? Apart from the POF, then all your documents, make sure they are intact. You submit the receipt of payment, full payment, your statement. This is what you should do. And during the visa interview stage, if you're eventually given a visa interview date, a link for the visa, please focus on these key things. This is point number 4 now, I believe. First of all, try to understand your school and the program. Maybe I shouldn't go much into details. That's okay. You are going for a business administration program, master's, undergraduate, whatever it is. Then your school is, for instance, Global College. Try to understand. Okay, Global College has been in existence for some years. It's a private career and private institutions, and maybe try to understand the little about your school during the visa, before the visa stage, like where your school is situated, probably yes, if it's establishment and all that. If you know that one outside, then try to understand your course, like your class schedule. What program you're going for, business administration. Um, I mean, your class from the timetable, probably your school would have given you a timetable. I think your class will be between 2 to 3 times in a week, and maybe 16 hours, 3 hours each, or 4 hours each. Just try to understand something about the program, like when is your class, when are you resuming, and all those stuff. That's key. Number on that 4 now. Then once you understand, try to lay emphasis on your interest of going to the country is majorly, that is primarily for the purpose of the school. Don't try to show that expression. Don't try to, make that, don't give that body language of you just wanting to travel for travel's sake. Probably you just want to enter Malta as an opportunity to leave the country. No, let it be like as if you're passionate for the things you're going for school. So in the process, there is a tendency that 1 or 2 questions will be asked in the process, like if you are not studying, then what else will you be doing? Like during the days you will not have class. Let it be more emphasis on the you trying to probably revisions, okay, revisit what you were taught before, or try to study ahead of the other coming class, do more research, go to the library to reach, and probably if it's possible, you might want to just do one or short, supporting work to gain experience relating to the program. Just make sure that the emphasis is about your passion for the program. Then again, the next point is try to also understand Malta. Malta is part of a Schengen country, is part of Europe, situated or close to Italy, close to this. Probably just understand few things about Malta. That shows that you really are passionate about something you are going for. You know the country, you know some things about the country. So it shows your interest in where you are going. So I think I should stop here, because if I want to go more into elaborating some other things, the video will be too long. Unfortunately, it is already longer than what I expected. I will stop here for now, and my next video I will definitely talk about is this the world they coming to Malta, and the routes to use to come to Malta, and which one is better among them, the advantage and disadvantages of coming to study in Malta in September. I will still talk about all this. Until we meet again, I say bye for now.